Everything about August 10th felt routine until it wasn't.
2-year-old Reardon Kavoris was all smiles playing at his childcare center on an afternoon in 2020. Hours later, Reardon was fighting for his life at Stony Brook University Hospital.
For 48 hours, I didn't know if he would ever wake up.
His father, Kevin, was driving with Reardon and slowed to make a turn when a pickup truck crashed into the back of their car at a speed estimated by Newsday at more than 50 miles per hour. The impact fractured Reardon's skull.
It was basically an uneven skull fracture, so that part of it was depressed and pressing down on his brain.
Reardon was unconscious when firefighters cut him out of the mangled car. Reardon's mother, Valerie, rode with him to the hospital.
They asked me to submit to a breathalyzer. I hadn't caused the accident. It was obvious. It wasn't that fault.
Valerie and Kevin assumed police would fully investigate the crash. Then they discovered the driver of the pickup truck was an off-duty Suffolk County police officer.
Completely shifted my entire narrative of the situation, and I felt like I had to reprocess everything all over again.
3 hours after the crash, Officer David Mascarella refused to take a breath test to see whether he had been drinking.
I just wondered, if he was not impaired, then why would he refuse?
Then, Suffolk police failed to seek a warrant to test for alcohol in Mascarella's blood.
They failed to do a reasonable investigation, that they gave the off-duty officer more benefits than he was entitled to.
No other individual would get the same type of deference that this officer got at that scene.
The Suffolk County District Attorney's Office launched an investigation, then closed it. Without a blood or breath test, there was no way to determine whether Mascarella was intoxicated.
A lot of investigative steps were not taken, so there are going to be some facts we just don't know.
You want to sit and let Mama talk? Did I pinch your leg? Oh.
This is Reardon today. He cannot run or jump. He wears a leg brace. Reardon required extensive rehabilitation. He had to relearn even how to eat.
You gotta take it in your hand, Goof.
Kevin and Valerie worry about his future.
That might affect his ability to ever be employed, or the type of employment, or the quality of life he might have. It might affect, ultimately, life expectancy.
For 2 years, Kevin and Valerie have tried to learn how the crash happened and whether Mascarella was held accountable. They have been met with official silence.
It's impossible to move on until we get the answers that some people have and aren't telling us.
Newsday's Inside Internal Affairs Project investigated. Pressed by Newsday, Suffolk DA Ray Tierney said that police failed to collect evidence that would have determined whether Mascarella committed a crime. Police Commissioner Rodney Harrison said he is working to prevent police from giving special treatment to off-duty officers. A spokesman said Harrison is moving to fire Mascarella. Mascarella's lawyer, William Petrillo, asserted that the DA had cleared Mascarella and stated that alcohol was not a factor in the crash. Kevin and Valerie hope one day they can explain to Reardon how Suffolk police shielded the officer who almost killed him and changed his future.